So you can make this shorter, really, can't you? The brief I chose was to, if you remember was to create a screenplay for a short film with a narrative twist. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So actually use the word brief, I would say. Just put the word brief in there.
Sir, have you sent to me?
No, not yet. It's still uploading. Okay, which means that this stuff.
Is it relevant?
No. So I would lose that. That would be some of your 64 words. And then go straight into there, which is exactly what they were asked us to do, yeah?
Yeah.
Talk about aims. And you've done that.
I just basically copied what they wanted me to write.
Fine.
And just changed it slightly.
Yeah. Now, this section is not narrative structure of the film, short films. It's cinematic influences. So this has to move down one in the order, and this has to come before that. Okay, let's just stick with the order that they give us. Okay, and you've done that fine. Have you added up your minutes?
What with the amount of minutes that I have on there? Well, on the piece of paper, I mentioned Elephant and Girl's Own Story, which that
gives you another 50 minutes or so.
Yeah, and then with the other short films, I think about a girl is about 9 minutes.
Yeah,
and then Curfew is about, I think, 20 minutes. I think.
Okay, so where have you put those other long ones in there?
Scroll up a bit. There, I just made a tiny paragraph at the start.
Perfect. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Good. Okay, so this comes before the cinematic bit. The cinematic bit looks a little bit light on words. If what they're saying is we're looking at 600, that's 300. So you may need to think about balancing that out a little bit. I'm not sure if that's going to be the screenplay analysis.
The only other way I could do that is if I was to talk about a screenplay and possibly one of the characters or plot narrative in one of the films like Beetlejuice or Sixth Sense. If I look at the script for that, I could probably try and find something.
I think that's the thing to
do. With Beetlejuice, I lent quite heavily. I thought I lent on the idea in Sixth Sense with the whole seeing the dead sort of thing, which I do mention in there.
Yeah.
But the idea of scaring people away or not being able to be seen properly was one with Beetlejuice at the start, so I might just try and copy a bit from that. But I remember when I was writing it, you and Miss were telling me don't make it too big because we didn't obviously know at that point, so that's why it's like
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I mean, that's within your it's very well within your powers to do that. Okay.
I don't really know what to put for a conclusion.
No, that's fine. That's exactly what they want, isn't it?
And then I was just going to put something from my script or screenplay or something like that.
Yeah.
There, like a screenshot or something.
That's fine. I don't think you need that. I think you need that. Okay, so your main jobs are move this down one to the kind of third section or introduction. Then
short
this
film, then cinematic.
Then cinematic influences, and then your evaluative analysis of the creating meaning. Try and rebalance this a bit. So if you can lose a little bit on here, I'm just trying to think how many words you've got here because I think you're a bit over.
But I know that I don't think I've taken much out, but I know that the bits for this for the stutterer and for I've forgotten the name. Curfew. They're quite important, I think.
Right.
So
okay. Well, if you just look at the pure numbers of it, you've got 771 here, and you need to move at least 100 of those into this bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so be.
I'll fine tooth.
Yeah. Be firm with yourself. and decide what you think are the most important things and leave them in there, and then try and find some screenplay stuff.
Because I know I write a lot about the diametrically opposed bits in Curfew, around about here, and how what Sophia does for Richie, which is the plot narrative where she saves him at the very end because she mentions to the mum that what he's done, and then she calls him as he's about to commit suicide. It's a saving technique.
Yeah,
is what
that's perfect. Yeah, well, you don't want to lose that, really, do you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I link that in there.
Okay. Well, if it seems very difficult to lose stuff from there, then leave it in. And just make sure, the very bottom line is make sure that you refer to a screenplay when you're doing the other thing. And if that's going to be a short reference and it's only, we've saved some words up here by taking that bit out, then so be it. But don't lose anything that you think is important. Okay, and this is good. So
there's some small things in there, but
yeah,
as long as that's good, that's all right. That's what they wanted.
Well, we're only kind of trimming it up and trying to put the key words. You know, I was just saying to Joe's is really good. Yours is really good, but I was just saying, just use the brief in the first. Just use the word brief. You know, there's kind of things like that. You've done fine because you've done this with all the titles. You know, some people haven't done that. I
just copy and paste.
Yeah, it's fine, but some people haven't done that. So, okay.
Was I right? I have done most of the things